Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You are audible.
Good
Okay.
afternoon, ma'am. Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Uh, can we start the session, please? I'm sorry. Can I start the session?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
One second. Are my slides visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is this visible to you?
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Segregation exercise is something. Uh, my slides are not moving.
Ma'am, in the meantime, can I ask one question?
Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, actually, we have to submit our assignments till 30 September, but on assignment portal, the assignments are not updated for the, August, the students who take admission in month of August. These are old ones for
Okay, you
Jan.
are okay. You're telling the assignments have not been updated. I am really not sure because I don't control the assignments. You may please ask the uh, regional center. Are my slides visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I put an email to regional center also, and I called, but the phone number which is on the computer that is not approachable.
Okay, you do one thing. What you can do right now is, uh, you can uh, you can at least do the assignments what has already been there, and then maybe you can continue from there. This is what is my opinion. I'm not sure, but we may have to find out from the regional centers.
Hmm.
Okay, because we do not really control the assignments part of it. We are not sure as to how that goes. We only correct the assignments. We are not really setting up the assignments.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay. You have to get instructions either from the regional center or you can contact somebody at Delhi itself. They might be in a position to help you. All right. Now, can I ask what you were taught in the last class, in the previous class?
Ma'am, that was the managerial aspects by Dr. Sudhanshu.
Okay, you looked at
Sudhanshu.
managerial aspects. Okay, today's session is actually something called as life cycle approach. Any idea what this life cycle? Okay, before I go into the nitty gritties of any of the life cycle approach, there are this, are you sure, I mean, uh, regarding the components of waste management, can somebody tell me? The slide is quite visible on your screen right now. What are the different components of waste management that you know?
Ma'am, first is there should be in-house segregation
Okay,
and
agreed. Segregation.
segregation, transportation, storage
Transportation,
policy,
storage,
collection,
collection.
transportation, collection,
Mm,
and what is the final treatment, and what is the hierarchy of our institute, like MS is the director,
mm,
MS, HIC.
mm. So, but that hierarchy of the institution comes later. But for us to have these components of segregation, disinfection, collection, transportation, final treatment, and disposal, there's something called as management policies should be there. Standard operating policies or procedures should be there. Monitoring should be there. Record maintenance should be there.
Yes.
Okay, if for all these components to happen, so from right from the start, even purchasing policies plays a major role for us here. Okay, these are the different components. Segregation we have already studied, right? Segregation, how many color codes are there?
So,
Four color codes are there, right? And and how each of the waste that is generated is segregated, that is also said.
yes, ma'am.
That is also mentioned in our rules. So we have to go by those segregation practices as mentioned in BNWM rules of 2016. Are we sure what sort of disinfection practices are to be maintained or to be practiced?
Ma'am, in disinfection, that only 1% sodium hypochlorite spill management.
Spill
Whatever
management
I
and in any other place
uh,
where, no, what the rules
no,
say, what are the waste that needs to be prior disinfected before sending for collection and before sending it for common biomedical waste treatment facility is what something we need to be clear about.
mm,
Okay, what does it say? Any idea?
ma'am, like we treat that whenever we discard, drain any liquid material, then we add 1% sodium
Sodium
hypochlorite.
hypochlorite.
Yeah, it is just not sodium hypochlorite addition that you need to be careful about. What you need to understand is what are the different kinds of waste that needs pre-treatment. That
Like
is important.
lab waste, for lab waste we have to autoclave, blood bag we have to autoclave.
Hmm.
We can recycle the biomedical waste that can be that is
And
like catheter, gloves, or euro bags. These can be used reused by recycling.
that plastic waste we can microwave.
Okay, that happens. That is allowed only in certain places and certain aspects. We need to be specific about those things. There should be a policy how many times a single use plastic can be reutilized or reused. And even if we reuse, we need to keep safety into consideration there. We cannot reuse one person's to another person. Most common place where such kind of reuse is usually done is in your dialysis units. Otherwise, generally most of the plastics that are generated are recycled. They are not reused. Well, I won't say they are not at all reused. There are specific areas and specific situations where some amount of reuse is acceptable. Whenever there is a reuse that comes in, you need to first ensure its safety, see that there is no hazards of infection that is carried out because of reuse. Only then you can reuse it. Am I clear here? I hope
Yes,
I'm not giving you any wrong directions here. The
yes,
first and the
ma'am.
foremost thing is it has to be safe enough for it to be reused. Only then
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can do it. Then the next aspect is your collection and transportation, final treatment and disposal. Okay, these are the different components of any waste management system. Now, this I'm sure Dr. Lalita has already spoken to you, right? Segregate at the point of generation, segregation. This is done, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is over for you. Different kinds of segregation, whatever you are having, the color codes, human anatomical waste. Now, yellow waste, these are non-chlorinated. Expired drugs, you generally return it back. Chemicals, recyclable plastics, syringes without needles, autoclave. Waste sharps, metallic implants, glassware. Exercise is also over for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it over or should I do it again?
No, it was over on that day. If you want
It
to,
was over on that day itself, right?
Yes, ma'am. We have completed that syllabus.
Yes, you have completed. I'm just skipping these things. Okay. These are the categories which you have already there. These are disclosed. How it is being going to be disposed is here. Collection and
the
package.
slides are not,
Yes. Any
slides are not,
what?
the slides are not moving.
Slides are not moving.
Mm.
Really?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Should I select the entire screen or should I select only one? Let's see if I
Ma'am, your
select the
camera
entire.
is on, so you are visible, not the screen
Mm-hmm.
share.
I know. Let's see if I can entire screen. What will come? This is of no use to me. This Google Meet always has this problem. Is this visible?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
are the slides moving?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, when we look at collection and transportation, how do we do the collection?
My bag should be filled 3 by 4.
3 by 4, or even less if you were 2/3 also capacity is fine.
Yes.
And how do you transport them?
Ma'am, in properly leak-proof trolley, that should be color-coded, it should be covered, and the waste handler should be properly with PPE.
Yeah,
And
they
it
should
is
the
the
waste and
bag is documented with the board registers,
mm,
with number of weight and that bags. And it should be properly sealed with cable tie
mm,
loop.
mm, 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 mm. So
And it is
even
a
whenever
there is a proper way to pick the bag with both hands, not like this, not like this.
exactly, and
Proper
it should
root
always,
can,
and there should be a proper route, and this route minimum exposure should be there, and even on the bags also there should be this biohazard symbol. If it is a
yes,
cytotoxic waste, it has to have cytotoxic symbol. So depending on the kind of waste, biohazard symbol is there in most of the biomedical, and it should also have the barcoding that is there. What is the advantage of this barcoding?
by barcoding, we can properly ensure that our healthcare facilities handling over the waste within a proper way to the HCWTF,
Mm,
and now only the authorities with them,
mm,
because we are giving the waste with proper and the proper supervision, because
mm,
barcoding is the proper way.
mm. Right.
And it
So
will
no,
also
actually,
tell.
barcoding, what it will help is one thing, you will get to know the weight of the bag. You will get to know where this bag was generated, where was the point of generation of waste of this particular bag.
Mhm.
So whenever there is a mix up of waste, or when there is something which is objectionable that is present in the bag, can always be traced back to the place where it is being generated. from which hospital, even in which hospital, which ward or which place, first floor, second floor, which ward it is being generated. So that is the idea of basically having this barcoding. And one more thing is that, see, many a times you would have heard people telling that there is biomedical waste that is being thrown into the dumping yard, or it is being thrown in the river. These kind of things you hear a lot,
Yes.
right? Every lot of things have been dumped. Now, whose responsibility is it? Is it the responsibility of the hospital, or is it the responsibility of the common biomedical treatment facility person? Who is responsible for safe disposal of waste?
For
How will you
safe
know?
disposal and for segregation, the hospital is responsible.
Okay.
And safe disposals, it is the responsibility of CBW. If we are pre-treating, then hospital is also responsible because some waste we are pre-treating, autoclaving and microwaving like.
Okay, that is
And
good. Mm.
yes, if we have any incinerator at our hospital, any plant at our hospital, then hospital is. But now we don't have any plant. Then
Hmm.
if we are handing over, then CBWTF is responsible.
Okay, see, it's not that one person is responsible in terms of only CBWTF or in terms of only hospital. We need to look at it like this. Both are responsible for safe disposal of waste that is generated. Uh,
Okay.
Both are responsible. How much of responsibility from where each one's jurisdiction start is, the hospital is responsible as long till the final disposal. But sometimes when I said this kind of instances that are there,
Mm.
how will you know that the hospital has not done any mischief there? Because when there is a barcoding and when it is being recorded that the barcode has been received by the CVWTF, then if it happens, then it is a responsibility of CVWTF. If there
Yes.
is no barcoding and the hospital has, the barcoding might be there, but it has not been received by the CBWTF, maybe the hospital has played a mischief and then discarded. So, actually, to track and to differentiate who has done what, and most of the CBWTF vehicles are fitted with global positioning system, GPS tracking system. Now, this will really help us whether whose fault is it to find out whether it is the common biomedical treatment facility person or is it the hospital who's doing this kind of problems. So we need to be careful. Both are responsible for safe transportation and safe disposal. The slide changed. Did this
Yes, ma'am.
slide? Yes. So this is in general, even within the hospital also, how it needs to be disposed is being specified here. You need to have a closed trolley which is protected rather than the first picture where everything, half the waste is spilling outside. Now this is something which has already been discussed, I'm not sure, but even then, predefined route, frequency should be there, and wearing of appropriate PPE, trolleys need to be clean, and biohazard symbol should be there. Okay, the trolleys which are used for transporting biomedical waste need to be used only for that, and you cannot use it for transportation of any other kind of either waste or any other kind of material. All right. So
I have
storage,
one question.
yes.
Ma'am, should we do weight at the ward level also, at ward area also?
Generally, they don't do it. Generally, they don't do it. But if you can weigh it even at the ward level, it gives you an idea as to how much of weight, how much of waste is generated at your ward.
Okay.
They may record it in terms of number of bags that is being given, because bags is a misnomer. You may not get the correct weight. The reason is there could be volume, but weight is something little different. So these are some of the things which can happen. Many places it is at the storage, the temporary storage place, before the common biomedical waste treatment facility person picks it up. That is where it is actually weighed.
Okay.
But for barcoding, it has to be weighed and barcoded there itself. The collection
Ma'am,
person should actually do it.
as per the ruling, it should be done at the time of barcoding.
At the time of barcoding, that means every what, when it is giving it away, it has to, barcode has to be generated. If barcode has to be generated, then naturally the weight will also be there.
Okay.
Okay, this is the storage place. In many places, we find this inadequate. What you see picture here is very nice. You know, you have color coded places where people can store the appropriate color coded waste over there. Many a times you may not find it so neat, nor, yes, somebody is having a second device, is it? There's an echo that is coming. You need to mute one device completely. So many places storage is an issue. They just simply dump it in one place without segregation. Sometimes segregation is maintained, sometimes the segregation is also not maintained. Storage is also very important for us because one thing, we need to separate it from the general waste, protect it from all the other environmental issues. It has to be secured with lock and key because there are recyclable waste that is here. If somebody, takes away the recyclable waste and try to reuse it, that is the worst kind of thing that can happen. So therefore, we need to have it under lock and key and with supervision. Not everybody should be in a position to access this kind of waste, right? The floor should be non-porous, adequate water supply should be there, and whatever waste water that is generated from the storage area needs to go to the ETP. And you cannot store infectious waste beyond 48 hours even in your hospital. That means the waste, especially the yellow color waste which is infectious, the biodegradable, has to be transported within 2 days to CBWTF. You cannot keep it in the storage beyond 2 days. Okay. Now, offsite transportation, you can look at your van how it is there. The area where the cabin is should be separated from this waste generated waste storage or holding space, and this vehicle should be fitted with GPS tracking system and should also have certain personal protective waste that is worn by waste handlers, and should also have uh, systems to combat any spills or anything of that sort. So it should have they have to report major accidents or fire hazards that has happened. Treatment and disposal. Here it is yellow. I sure in all the anatomical waste, soiled waste, discarded medicine, soiled linen, all of them go to incineration. If you look at it, most of the yellow waste goes in for incineration, right? Only liquid waste goes to the ETP, and the liquid waste from the incinerator, it goes to the landfill. The ash goes to the landfill. If you look at the red color waste, are my slides moving?
Yes, ma'am.
See, if you look at the red and the blue, they are basically autoclaved and then they are shredded and then sent for recycling. For white, it is also shredded and then or put into the sharp pit, or it is sent to the landfill, or it is encapsulated, or this is what inertized. This is something what they have do. This is where it is not connected to CBWTF. This is what we need to do. Drugs, you need to send it to the manufacturer. Other waste, yellow waste, which is incinerated, should go in for deeper layer. Cytotoxic waste should be sent back to the hazardous waste facility. Liquid waste should go in for waste treatment unit. You need to chemically treat both red and the blue waste and send it for recycling. White, pre-treated chemically or autoclave or hydroclave and put it in the sharp. You may not get cytotoxic waste in a place where it is not connected to CBWTF, but nevertheless, you know. On-site pre-treatment, you have autoclave, microwave, and chemical disinfection that is there. Okay, I'm just skipping these things, but the blood bags, blood samples, cell cultures, petri dishes, uh, stock solutions, these are the things which require pre-treatment. Okay, what are the different methods that you have? You have autoclave, you have microwave, and chemical disinfection. All these three things are necessary for, I mean, not that everything has to be done. Now let's look at this life cycle approach. What exactly is life cycle approach that is there? What do you mean by life cycle approach? What do you mean by life cycle approach? Starting from manufacturing till the usage and the final disposal, it has to be environment friendly. I'll give you one example. If you look at banana tree or a plantain tree, what we call it, right? Most of the products of the banana tree are utilized. The fruit is utilized, the leaves are utilized, either for decorative purpose or for eating purpose or packaging purpose, right? The stem is also utilized. They do cook the stem and eat it. Uh, then only the bark is something, the fruits, the flowers are also eaten sometimes. So everything is biodegradable here, starting from its manufacturing until the end process. So you're not leaving any waste that is hazardous to the environment or to the human being. You got my point here? Did you understand this? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you look at life cycle approach of any waste item for that matter, you take your plastic syringe itself. So for manufacturing, you're using energy, right? You're using plastics, you're utilizing it, the process, whatever. After utilization, how are you discarding it? You have to recycle it again. There's again that is energy that is utilized. There is no question of biodegradation that happens here. It is recycled and it comes back in a different format here, right? Whenever we look at life cycle approach, you start from the manufacturing process till the final disposal mechanisms that we have. All the steps here should be environmental friendly. This is what we start from the point of generation till the final disposal mechanisms. This we call it as a life cycle approach. So whenever and when you look at waste management, you have hierarchies of waste management. Are you aware of that hierarchies of waste management? Any idea? Hierarchies of waste management. What is given most important? Is it the reduce, recycle one, or waste minimization that is given the maximum importance? If I reduce the amount of waste that is generated, I will have less amount of waste that needs to be treated, less amount of waste that needs to be disposed of. Am I right here?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do I achieve this? How do I achieve so that my quantum of waste that is generated itself is reduced? We call it as waste minimization processes. How can I go about doing this?
By reusing,
Huh?
by reusing after treatment or by recycling.
By recycling or reusing, you are still using that waste. No, there's some amount of processes that is happening. If I want the amount of waste that is generated itself to be less, how do I go about it? Proper segregation, okay, that only solves some amount of it, sir, Prakash sir. But there are other things also which you can look at, especially looking at buying things, indenting things, looking at the stock. See what is waste. Waste can be some resource which is not used, which is not useful for the person presently. So by having good stock management practices, you are actually minimizing the waste. And before buying something, you can think twice. If I buy this, what is the impact it has on environment? Is it necessary for us to do it, or is it not necessary? For example, How many of you work in a primary health center or any
Ma'am, but
hospital? Any hospital. Do you have patients who come and ask for injections, who come and ask for IV?
yes, ma'am, I'm working in tertiary care.
Okay. Many times you will definitely have people who come and ask you for injections, where one, when it is not necessary, they'll ask you to give you an injection. Two, the same thing can be managed with a simple tablet, but even then they would want an injection. So what are you doing here when you go ahead and do give an injection to the patient here? Aren't you generating waste? Are you not generating waste? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
you are generating waste. The same thing which can be done with a simple tablet. Instead, you are generating one glove, one needle, one plastic syringe has to be used, one ampule has to be broken. So this whole cycle goes on. So instead, if you say, instead of an injection, if you were to give them a tablet, the amount of waste that is generated is, you will have an aluminum foil, the tablet is digested or it is utilized or it is broken down in the body, and the rest of the things, whatever metabolites that are released are quite manageable even when it is excreted. Am I right here? So when you look
Yes,
at waste management practices, you need to look at how best I can reduce the amount of waste. That means your utilization practices and other things also come into play here. What sort of policies do you have? Say, for example, I'll tell you, even in our own households, if we have to order food from outside, if we have to go and do a takeaway, in the sense, you go to a restaurant and you just have to take the food from the restaurant, go home and eat it. What do you do? What does the restaurant basically do? It will take one, either an aluminum foil or it will take a plastic box, depending on the kind of food that you have ordered. All the packaging materials are added. You are also given some amount, you are also added some amount of money for packaging. Can we avoid this to reduce the amount of municipal plastic waste that is generated? Of course, if you take your own containers, probably they'll fill whatever that you have asked for in your own containers and take it back home. One, you are assured of the hygiene. Two, you are assured that you are not creating any more waste. Right? So these are kind of practices which we can do even in the hospital also. One example what I gave you was the infection. And another thing, can anybody think of, whenever you are intenting anything for the hospital, can you buy something which can be used multiple times? Initial investment might be slightly more, but you can convince the management telling that you can have some things which are used more than twice. So therefore, you don't need to buy it more. Depending on the situation, I won't tell every time it is the best. Suppose there is an infection that is involved, then probably you need to use a single use one so that you reduce the amount of infection that is generated because of reusing it or recycling it, right? So these are some of the practices. So you look at the practices right from the purchasing policy till your disposal mechanisms. Sometimes your disposal mechanisms will be so difficult that using these things will literally, I don't know how many of you have got this water beds for stroke patients. How do they discard these water beds? Is there any mechanism that you know of? Yes. Anybody? Any place? What do you do with certain things which are not required? Sometimes you can have other alternatives which are more viable, which which do not require so much of treatment, which do not require so much of disinfection procedures. So you have to give importance to such procedures and such materials and then buy them. Uh, during COVID, during COVID, all of us wore personal protective equipment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all of us wore protective equipment, but none of us used the recyclable protective equipment, right? Did we? All of us wanted the single use protective equipment so that it can be discarded after once utilized. Nobody thought of using the recyclable ones, did we? Nobody thought, because we were so scared that we will combat the infection. So therefore, we were very careful about it and we did not use anything recyclable. And one more thing, what we did was we put all the segregation practices into the dustbin initially. Later on, the CPCB came up with different mechanisms of putting it across, right? I mean, the same segregation practices to be maintained even during the COVID times. All right. Let me see if I can share with you the if I can share with you the just a minute. Are you able to see this? Yes.
I am able.
You're able to hear?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Listen to it. Is this visible? Yes. Is this visible to you? Are you able to hear it?
Ma'am, we are only able to see the screen with the folder's name.
Is
That's
it?
it.
Oh, you were not able to check any of the videos?
No, ma'am, only folder's name was there. No as such video was playing.
Now, did you see this video?
No, ma'am, no video
No,
is
ma'am.
there.
No video is there. Or do I
Because
share the video? Why does this always happen like this? Now,
Yes, ma'am. Now it has been started.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you able to see another one?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I don't think so.
And there is on-site free treatment.
It's there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It's
ma'am,
not
I will fill it too.
visible. Uh, it's not.
Visible?
It's not visible to me, ma'am.
That's what even I was thinking. Let's see how I can. I think now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see two things or do you see one?
Video is there.
No,
One
do you
video, ma'am.
only one video? Okay.
One video.
Hmm. Okay, now you tell me. You just looked at the disposal collection. Storage practices are also there. We'll show the storage practice, I think, slightly later in down the course. So when you look at a life cycle approach, you start from the beginning and till the final disposal, whatever procedures that are there, all these aspects will come under life cycle approach. Are we clear here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? All right. Is there any clarification you would like to ask me today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me. What clarification you would want to ask me? Is there something which you have not understood, which you would want to look at? Yes, you can go ahead, ask me whatever clarifications you would want. Anything which you have not understood and you definitely want to. Yes, come on, you need to tell me that. Nobody wants to ask any question. Now, each of you should pose one question to me. Yes. Okay. When we say talk about life cycle management, it considers the benefits, cost, and risks of a full life cycle of a product or service, including waste management. So, life cycle management applies to approaches to the product design and development that minimize environmental impact of products throughout the life stages of a product, starting with extraction of resources for raw material inputs and continuing through processing and manufacturing of all the feedstocks and final products, distribution, use, and ultimately disposal life cycle analysis. This is a tool used for quantifying the life cycle impacts of a product. So this is what is your life cycle approach. Am I clear here? Yes? Anybody who wants to ask any questions on this? That means you are right from the product manufacturing till the final disposal. All the aspects are used here. What are the benefits? What are the risks? And what are the cost? And how best we can redefine or control it. Could you please brief me about regarding the strength of it's 0.1 percentage, madam. 1% sodium hypochlorite is what it is used, and in most of the places, the BMWM talks about 1% hypochlorite to be used in for disinfection for surfaces and many places, except for those places where you have higher amount of organic material. 1% sodium hypochlorite may not work. You may have to use at least a higher concentration of sodium hypochlorite. As per the rules, it is 1%. Yes, ma'am. Sophia, ma'am. Am I
Okay.
clear here?
Yes, ma'am, clear, ma'am. But
Mm.
few people who came for assessment, they said 0.5% can be used. So are we allowed to use 0.5%?
See, you have to use your logic here. When
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
looking at disinfection, now sodium hypochlorite, any place, if the higher the concentration you use, the higher is the corrosiveness that is there.
Yes, ma'am.
It depends on the load. For disinfection, you have to follow two or three things. One, the strength of the disinfectant, the number of, I mean, the time that is exposed to the disinfectant.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if these two are satisfying, and if it is just a surface disinfection which you have where the contamination is very less, zero point 0.5 is also okay. But as per the rule, if it is a biomedical waste, it is 1% sodium hypochlorite. In most of the places, it is written as 1%.
Okay.
You can check the rules.
Yes, ma'am.
You can check biomedical waste management rules where it says it is 1% sodium hypochlorite or any equivalent to it. It not necessarily always to that. It talks in terms of log reduction of the bacteria that is present there.
Okay.
To test that, it might be slightly practically not very feasible at all the times. But what you can do is you can use something. 1% is what is generally advocated as per the rule.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else has got anything that I need to clarify?
No, ma'am.
If there's nothing, can I call it a day or should we continue to discuss? Yes. There's something called as waste minimization. That is what is important for us whenever we look at life cycle approach.
To reduce the waste.
To reduce the waste. It is
Yes, ma'am.
that means it is not just minimizing waste, but it has to be done in a very. So you
With
need
a
to have.
serious approach.
It has to be other than rigorous segregation. You can avoid oversizing of equipment. All these things needs to come regarding this. You need to know how you can reduce the waste, where it is coming, what are the major sources, how best we can reduce the waste that is generated so that it is non-hazardous.
Like, ma'am, we can put footwears instead of using shoe covers.
No, but shoe covers are necessary for you, right? Oh yeah, footwears which can be recycled, right? That is
Yes.
one way of looking at it.
And
Even
we
when.
can ask
Mm,
them, we can discuss with HIC to
mm,
assign one gown to the concerned doctor who is it at the particular place and staff,
mm.
like at the critical areas.
Critical area. See, waste minimization, most commonly it is applied. Example, whatever we can do is source reduction first. That
Yes.
means purchase reduction, selecting supplies that are less wasteful, where smaller quantities can be used, or
Mm,
that produces a less hazardous waste product.
mm,
Use of physical rather than chemical cleaning methods,
mm,
sometimes it is helpful. Prevention of wastage of product, management of control measures at the hospital level, centralized purchasing of hazardous chemicals, monitoring of chemical use within the health center from delivery to disposal of hazardous waste, stock management, um, use of all the contents in the container, use of the oldest batch first of the product first. That means first in, first out. So these are some of the things which needs to be done. Those are some of the examples which you give for managing the stores where.
yes, ma'am. Like you gave the example of if any patient come and ask to give IV, in spite of it, if any tablet can be given, then we can advise
We
him
can
tablet.
advise tablet, yeah. So those are some of the examples what we have given. But even in purchases also, when we
Mm,
say life cycle management, no, it looks at all the benefits, cost, and everything. So that will really help us in terms of management. Then another thing what we need to look at is your green procurement essay,
mm,
in the sense whatever we buy has to be environmental friendly. Now everything has changed.
mm,
Earlier in the railways we always used to have those paper cups to be given with tea and coffee. Now they are giving that mud cups.
mm,
So you are trying to reduce the amount of burden there.
mm,
So for us, for waste minimization, the first and the foremost thing is on uh, emphasis on recycling or even prevention of it. First practical step is to pay more attention to the quantity and the type of materials purchased regularly. Establish a system to gather waste management ideas from staff, evaluate these ideas, put the good ideas into practice. Often there will be obvious opportunities to reduce the amount and toxicity of materials purchased, and hence the amount and toxicity of the waste generated. Targets could be both quantitative or qualitative. Educating the staff to use, say quantitative is consumption of paper will be reduced, or qualitative is hazardous solvents will be substituted by more environmentally friendly products. Educating the staff to use medical materials carefully to avoid generating unnecessary waste. And further simple measure that can be used is reuse of the option and minimize the waste. But reuse has got some complication with regard to risk transmission or the infection transmission. We have to discuss that first before we advocate any reuse.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for waste minimization, you need to have your life cycle management that is there. So these are some of the things that we can look at in waste minimization. All the components of waste treatment, waste management will come in waste minimization and life cycle approach, because it starts from the procurement of the material, segregation of it, collection, transportation, and disposal mechanisms. Everything will come in that particular cycle. All right. Anything else you would like to ask me? If there's nothing, I'll call it a day. Anybody has any questions to ask? I need a reply.
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
No
Thank you very
questions
much.
to ask, ma'am. Thank you so
No
much.
question. Thank you so
No
much.
question.
Can I leave the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.